Okay, we're going to look at developing in Salesforce. The first thing you got to know is you can do nothing in the production system of Salesforce. No programming is allowed. You have to contact Salesforce and get a sandbox developer license, which then lets you go ahead and do your development. It's my understanding that even if you're not a Salesforce customer, if you're just a hobbyist, you can nevertheless call them, and I think they'll give you a sandbox to practice on, practice your programming. Anyway, everybody who is actually a Salesforce customer has the right to have a sandbox. Okay, so in order to get to a sandbox, your sandbox, you go test.salesforce.com and you log in. Now, normally our login is marketing@animationmentor.com. But in this case, I have to call it what the actual sandbox is called. I have to go in here and say AM test. Okay, so it's marketing@animationmentor.com.am test. Then I have to come down and do my password, and I'll pause it while I do that. Well, actually I don't have to pause it, it doesn't show. Okay, so now we're logged in. Okay, so now we are actually in the system, and as you can see up here, it actually says Sandbox AM Test. Okay, so you know you're in it. Also, in our particular installation, it's CS11 is the actual name of the server we're using. You can see up here actually on that we're using a different, a specific server that's only for the sandbox. And you got to be aware that the sandbox only allows you maybe, I think it's like 50 customers, and it only allows you certain things, but it's more than enough to get the job done. Also, you're allowed to do refreshes where you pull all your data from your production system and put it into the sandbox, but you can only do that about once a month, I think is the limit. You can push your configuration, i.e., what all your specialized fields and all those kind of things. You can push all that stuff daily or even hourly, and you can update your sandbox. Okay, so first thing we want to do is we want to go and look at the project here is that we're trying to pull a text file, a comma separated, a CSV, from one of our servers here in California, and we're trying to instruct the Salesforce server in Florida to pull files. Now, let me okay, so here is a listing of our files that we might have. And what we see is that these are just basic CSVs, and these sit on one of our servers. For security, we shut down, no one can access these from the outside except Salesforce's servers. But these are regular CSV files that our system drops, and we want these pulled into Salesforce using the native Apex application. And all these are is the name, address, email, student number, all that kind of data, and that all gets pulled in. Okay, and now let's go and look at the code for this. What we do is we go into Developer Console, and that's right here. You can see that you have Setup and you have Developer Console. Those are very important. Okay, so here we have Developer Console. In Developer Console, you have your repository, and that's where all of your your Apex code lives. You also can put triggers. You can see triggers here if you want to establish triggers, and a few other things. Okay, but the main place you're going to spend time is in classes. Now, we also have here logs. Now, these are for the debug logs. Okay, so what we're going to do is get rid of some of these.